What up, fight fans? It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again. And y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. IBF 140-pound world champion Lamont Peterson takes on the WBC, WBA Ring Magazine lineal world champion in Danny Garcia. Lamont Peterson coming into this fight, 33 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 17 KOs. Danny Garcia, 28-0. 17 KOs, ladies and gentlemen. Should be a fight that we all are going to be talking much about. But the fact of the matter is that this fight has now lost tremendous, I repeat, tremendous flair in the announcement that it's taking place at a catch weight of 143 pounds and 4 titles between these two fighters, yet none of them are on the line. And if either fighter loses, they still go on to remain as being world champion. Just did a video about this thing about, if that was the case, why the fuck didn't Chris Algieri get to keep his title then? You know what I mean? But the fact still remains that took a lot of the flair out of this fight. Now we're just looking at a total exhibition. Nothing really of significance involved in this particular fight other than an I told you so type fight. This is a fight that we know Danny Garcia has been resisting for quite some time due to the fact he claims that he defeated Lucas Matthysse, and Lucas Matthysse had already defeated Lamont Peterson. Just the belt wasn't on the line, so he felt as though he technically should be IBF world champion also. But it actually kind of makes a little bit of sense, you know what I'm saying? But the fact remains that, you know, they're still world champions. Lamont Peterson is still the 140-pound IBF champion, but the belt ain't on the line. You know what I mean? It's confusing the fans. People didn't understand why this is going on. Evidently, their management and their camps are preserving these fighters to keep them in positions that if either one of them lose, they can still remain profitable and marketable. You know, Lamont Peterson has already had his fair share of bad shit, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't need any more between doping allegations and already taking the losses to Lucas Matthysse. Some people thought he possibly would have lost against Khan if he maybe wasn't juiced up, you know. So he's already facing his share of obstacles and criticism, yet now we see this. According to Danny Garcia, this fight is occurring at a catch weight because he's tired of killing himself for making a 140-pound division. Here's an idea. Take your ass to the 147-pound division then. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. Take your ass to 147 and stop being a pussy, man. You know what I mean? Oh, I got to work my way up to 147. So let's go from 140. Let's make a weight at 143. And then maybe I can get up to 140. These pussy-ass fighters, you know what I'm saying? That shit is so fucking annoying. What is the purpose of having these belts? What is the purpose of being lineal champion? We know Danny Garcia is coming off his match with Rod Salka, in which he was ridiculed beyond belief, you know what I mean? We know prior to that, he got into that scrap with Mauricio Herrera down in Puerto Rico, in which many seen him losing. So many are saying that Garcia possibly has unfinished business at the 140-pound division, yet we cannot discredit what he's already done in the 140-pound division, which is amazing, amazing. You know, you look at the resume of his 140-pound wins, and you know, the list is crazy. You know, the Mauricio Herrera win, Lucas Matthysse, Zab Zuda, Eric Morales twice, Amir Khan, Kendall Holt, Ashley Theophane. These were fighters that were defeated by Danny Garcia. He wants Manny Pacquiao, but Manny Pacquiao ain't fought at 140 in quite some time. You know what I mean? So either if he does, it'll be at a catch weight or either at the 147. But anyway, this particular fight right here is going to be still a good test for Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson, given that you know, Peterson needs another big name, I guess, to erase the memories of Rod Salka and Mauricio Herrera. And of course, Peterson needs a win in order to get past the whole I am an elite fighter type thing. I mean, Peterson is struggling with them actually naming, even though he's IBF champion, and you know, giving off he fought Edgar Santana, and then he fought the Derry Jean fight, you know, and then prior to that, that's when he had the Matthysse fight. But the fact is, you know, he needs that big win. He needs it because his last big fight, which was the Lucas Matthysse fight, he lost, you know. And in the Amir Khan fight, some people see Khan as outboxing him, but due to whatever the fuck he was taking and being able to eat Khan's shots like Scooby snacks and just keep coming forward, he eventually overpowered Amir Khan. So you know, but he's still, like I said before, it's all questionable, it's all controversial, whatever you want to give it, you know what I mean? So they both need this particular fight. I am not happy that this fight is happening at a catch weight. It should, if you're going to fight Fight for the titles at 140 if that's what it takes. If you're gonna fight for the 143 catchweight, then make it the titles that at least are on the line, man. Or just go with the traditional rules. Stop all of this rule bending shit. All of this, oh, let's negotiate it. I'm not going to make 140. I'm not going to kill myself making 140. No, what are you talking about? I'm only getting paid millions of dollars. Motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it just pisses me off. You know what I mean? This is very, very upsetting. Like I said, this is nothing more than an exhibition now. Man, you know, and then the fact of the matter is that Lamont Peterson is coming off a fight with Matisse not a few fights back, in which the same thing happened. In which he fought Matisse at the 141 catch weight, and by that occurring, and Matisse not wanting to lose his #1 contender spot in the WBC against Garcia, decided not to fight Lamont Peterson for his IBF championship, even though Peterson was cool with it, you know what I mean? But decided not to fight it, and IBF was not going to sanction a unification match, given that Matisse was WBC interim world champion, you know what I mean? So that fight occurred. Lamont Peterson got knocked out in the 3rd round, yet he retained his IBF strap. He's still world champion. So this fight is just, you know, this, like I said, if you just discredit the belt and the catch weight, it's going to be a good fight, hopefully. You know what I mean? This is a fight that, honestly, people wanted to see roughly about a year ago when we had that particular fight card of Rod Salka, Danny Garcia, Edgar Santana, and Lamont Peterson, you know, which the two champions were on the same fight card, but they weren't fighting each other, you know what I mean? So people were clamoring for that fight then, and I don't think, given that this fight is going to be on network television, it's not going to be a pay-per-view, or you don't have to pay a lot of money to go see it, it's going to be a profitable fight, and it's going to be an interesting fight, you know, stylistically, which I'll get more into that in a later video. But I am excited about the matchup. Just a little messed up that nothing is on the line other than bragging rights. You know, none of the titles are on the line. So it'll be interesting to see after this over how they're going to live with, or whoever the loser is going to live with himself is of having a strap around his waist, knowing that he lost. You know, it's got to be a little bit of fucked up feeling in that, knowing that you're actually not the best in the world. You hold the belt, but you're quite not the best. It's fucked up. To the next video, it's your main man, Made Man. I will dig more into these two. Can't wait till this fight to get on, you know, stylistically. I can't wait to do that video, so we'll see how it goes. Till then, see y'all then. Don't forget to subscribe.